What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Run Your Race show, episode number 11, with your host, Akeem.
And Chanelle.
And before we get started, if you are watching the video, one, we are appreciative of your eyes and ears. And also, like this video, share this video, and get somebody that you know that likes track and field to subscribe to the channel. So, this week was, I don't even know what the right word for it was. There was, there was so much events, so much different track meets on screen. This is some of the ones that we were paying attention to. We watched a couple of these live. Before we get started, shout out to Dawn Harper Nelson, right? For her commentary at Mount Sac. I thought she did a phenomenal job, very informed, added her flair to it, and gave us not just who was there, but a little backstory and shared a little bit of her experience so we could understand the who was in the race a little bit better. One of the things that we talked about, how to make the sport better, is to don't leave those dead quiet spaces. Tell us a little bit. And I thought she did a phenomenal job at that. So shout out to you, Miss Dawn Harper Nelson. We are appreciative of you. So where do we go? Where do you want to start?
I'll start us off, and I'm going to cover the women.
Okay.
So, and I'm going to start with the 100-meter dash. We saw Aaliyah Hobbs at the LSU Alumni Gold meet.
High stepping.
1088. I mean, that speaks for itself, right? And it's, people may not get excited because Sears from Tennessee ran so fast last weekend. I still get excited when I see a 1088. And so I think I even got more excited when I saw the Canadian Audrey Leduc run 1096 and breaking the Canadian record, a 38-year-old Canadian record. And I asked you, and you were like, I don't know who she is, know, and that's exciting. It's like, we know that people show up and show out during the Olympic year, and that is what Miss Leduc is doing. So shout out to her, new Canadian record holder. I mean,
that's a long-standing record. And honestly, as I was telling you, again, just because we may not know this person, they didn't just run fast overnight. There's been a journey lead up to it.
Absolutely.
But at the start of the year, you were not mentioning Audrey Leduc. And if you were, you're lying, right? So shout out to her and her team. And I mentioned to you, out of all the women that have taken part in the last 10 years in the women's side in Canadian track and field, I didn't think it was going to be her to break this record. But man, that's massive.
Yeah. Excited to watch her and see how her season progresses. On to the 100-meter hurdles. We had Tania Marshall at the meet in Florida run 12:42.
Wow.
Yeah, which was faster than what the ladies at the Diamond League in China ran. That was Jasmine Camacho Quinn who took that win out in China. She ran 12:45, beating the world record holder indoor, Charlton field from the Bahamas, who ran 12:49. And I just want to shout out Camacho Quinn because she is the reigning Olympic champion. And there's a lot that comes with that, a lot of mental pressure that comes with that. Has to be hard. There's a target on her back. So she's off to a great start. Has to feel good to beat that field this early in the season. But of course, Tania Marshall ran faster than both of them. Like I said, she ran 12:42 at that Pure Athletics Spring Invitational in Clermont, Florida. So she has to be feeling good. 100-meter hurdles for the women. We've said it time and time again, probably the most competitive event in track and field. They don't dodge each other. They can't dodge each other because there's so many of them that are fast. But yeah, that's probably one of my favorite events to watch. So that was exciting. On to the 400-meter. Paulino from the Dominican Republic. She looked good at that Diamond League in China, opening up with a 50.08. again, she has a target on her back. She won worlds last year. And so again, it has to be good to come out and get these wins, a confidence booster, right? That's what it's about. And so there are plenty of women who's trying to beat her for that Olympic gold medal. But she has to feel confident.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And so going on to the 800 meter, Mary Mora of Kenya, she actually ran at the Kip Kino Classic in Kenya, breaking that 158 barrier. She ran 157.96 to win the 800 meter at that meet. And she actually shocked the world last year when she brought down Hodgkinson and Mu, and she won worlds.
Big upset.
Yeah, she
under
won.
the radar.
Yeah,
you compete against her.
Yes, yeah, she's
How old would she be about now, if you had to say?
Upper 20s, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, and maybe low 30s, but yeah, she just likes to run hard. She likes to get out there, and she has a very fast 400 as well. So she's fast, and so she's gonna try to shock the world again. I guess it won't be as much of a shock this year because she pulled it off.
Can't
last
come
year.
under the radar now.
She's not under the radar anymore. But that's a great opener for her. 157 anything this early in the season has to feel good. I think so. Yeah.
Sometimes I forget what year it is. It's Olympic year, so these things are normal nowadays.
Yeah. Moving on to the 1500, our girl Gudov Sagai.
Shout out to Gudov, man. Shout out to Gudov, man. Anytime I see her run, she just runs so effortless to me, and it's so smooth. And she is focused and dialed in. Like, she's not here to play any games. She's not laughing. She's not, hey everybody, how y'all doing? It's work.
Business. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, she means business every time she steps on the track. It looks like she wants to break a world record every time she steps on the track. And she almost did. She ran 350 and some change in the 1500 meter in April. That is unheard of. When her and Faith Kipyegon match up this season, we're going to see a world record.
And the girl who got second, you told me she's a young.
Yeah, she was from Ethiopia as well. She tried to hang on to Sagai for as long as she could. Sagai wasn't having it.
There's nothing to try. Nothing wrong with that.
She wasn't having it, but that was a phenomenal race at the Diamond League in China, as well as the 300 meter steeplechase. Not really an event that we pay too much attention to, but we're trying to, to give the distance people some love. So we watched, and Chepkoech from Kenya, she ran a world lead 8:55:40, and you're like, what does that mean? I was like, anytime a woman breaks 9, that's fast. And you were like, okay, I can respect that.
Yeah, but like since I didn't know, I watched Blameless. Like, I don't even know, but man, how good she looked. That was impressive. You can always respect and appreciate how good someone is doing, even if you don't really understand the greatness of what they're doing. But she looked good.
Yeah. And then lastly, I'm going to give a shout out to all the runners who ran in the London Marathon. People have asked me before, am I going to ever run a marathon? Absolutely not. I ran 2 laps. I'm not running for more than 2 hours.
You did run the 5K?
Yeah. A marathon?
Yeah, baby steps.
Absolutely not. But on the women's side, Jep Cheer, hope I said that right, from Kenya, she broke the world record in the women's only marathon.
She broke it.
Yeah, she ran 2 hours and 16 minutes and some seconds. Man. And I can't imagine running for 2 hours.
I don't even like you. You see me on the treadmill and the elliptical. We get to 5 minutes, and I want to get off.
He's so upset.
So 2 hours, like, that is. I don't even know if remarkable is the word. Like, it takes a certain level of discipline, not just that, but also remembering, like, dig comes to mind. Like, you really have to dig when your body's aching. Maybe the weather it wasn't the greatest. Like, you really have to dig to remember, man, like, I put in all this work. I got to keep going. I got to keep. So it feels good. And again, like, I always wonder, what does your body feel after something like that?
I always wonder, what do they think about
that long? And yeah, that's true. Cause I'll be in the gym sometimes doing like cardio and stuff, or walking. I'm just like, man, I'll be thinking about food, I'll be thinking about what I got to do tomorrow, and I'll just be wanting to quit.
Yeah. So
Wow.
that's what I got on the women's side. And I know the men showed up and showed out this weekend. So I'm excited to hear what you have to tell us about the highlights from the men's side, because it was a great weekend of track for the men.
Well, thank you for that. That was extremely well done. When we were thinking about what we were going to talk about today, and I'm writing down all these different things, Chanelle was like, yo, we can't talk about everything. But I wanted to talk about everything, but out of respect for you and for our show, we know we're not going to cover everything and get everything. So for those that have been watching this weekend, what we missed, man, please let us know in the comment section below. I want to start in the 100 because I remember a time when breaking 10 seconds was like this magnificent barrier. And there was a time when I think it was maybe shortly after I retired, but around that time, like 2016, 17, there were like maybe 108 people that have broken 10 seconds, maybe even less. And shout out to Asafa Powell, because he almost ran sub 10 100 times. I think he's at 97. But that was hard. It's still hard. But now everybody seems like they're doing it. Like this weekend, we had a bunch of athletes, bunch of sprinters running sub 10 seconds. Some were a little bit unlucky with the wind. In Kenya, Kenneth Benerick, Emmanuel Mutati. Kenny ran 992. Emmanuel Mutati ran 999 with 2.2 win. It's not a lot of win. And when you look at the video and you see the race, it was raining a little bit too. So, it wasn't hot. Might have been a little bit lower. So that was impressive to me, but also the field, right? You got Ferdinand Amenyala, hometown, home country. He's supposed to be the guy to win this race. But Kenny Benerick, who is mainly a 2 guy,
right.
Trying to remind people that like, yo, I can get busy in the 1, right? And so shout out to him and Emmanuel Mutati.
So technically 992 was the fastest of the weekend, but because it was windy, slightly windy. Okay.
It did not count per se, but 2.2, I mean, he's in sub 10 shape. Clearly. In that same meet though, Courtney Lindsay and Leslie Tobogo, 1971 into a 1.8 or 1.7, something like that. That's 19.6 for both men. Maybe even one of these guys touching 19.5. In April is remarkable. Like that's impressive to me. We talked about Courtney Lindsay a couple of weeks back. Last week, 2 weeks when he was in Miramar, last week when he was in Florida, Tom Jones. This man is running with a level of confidence right now. This man is running with a level of, I'm here right now, I'm fast right now, and come and catch me. Because that corner was ridiculous. We know Tobogo is not going to take the corner the fastest, but he comes on incredibly strong. His endurance is ridiculous. Maybe when he grows into his body a little bit more and hits the gym a little bit more, he'll be able to push a little bit better. That's probably his only thing kind of holding him back slightly. But it's hard to argue with what he's been able to produce. So Courtney Lindsay, man, he's a guy to beat right now. Both of these guys are. It's one thing when you run fast in your country, but to go over, look, you got to fly 17, 19 hours. You got to get acclimated to the time change, the terrain. You got to get the weather, all these different things, the food, the sleep, and then to run what you've been running or kind of showing in someone else's country in this competition. That's someone who's ready, whether I'm at home, comfortable or uncomfortable. One of the things in track and field, and we've talked about this, not on the show, but it is tough to go to Europe and run fast. For whatever reason, there's much different reasons, but it's tough. So that was a very impressive run to me. You go over to the hundreds, right? Favor Ashe, 996. T. Mars McCollum of the freshman from Tennessee. He ran 9.9 as well. But it gets a little bit not going to say overshadowed, but
kind of
someone else steals it a little bit more, and that's Christian Miller. 993 at that Claremont meet. And it wasn't the fact that he ran 993. Obviously, that's massive. That's fast. but the kid's 17. What are we doing running this fast at 17 years old?
Yeah.
The person who I think has gotten beat in that one was at the same track last year was Akeem Asanga. He ran 9:88. That is fast.
He was a high schooler as well.
He was the high schooler as well.
I saw Noah Lau's tweet. If you're a high schooler who wants to break 10 in the 100th, then go to the Claremont track.
Oh yeah. Hey, anytime you can, Claremont, Le Chaux de Fonds, like these are tracks you want to go to. You are going to run fast. The issue with running fast at a meet like a Claremont is oftentimes when you do it there, you don't really do it.
Why is that?
Sometimes
track short.
The atmosphere is right. The atmosphere is right. So there's going to be, there's excitement, but there's going to be some questions that come with it. So now he's going to have to go away and run something like that. Again, he's 17 years old. 993 puts him right there in the mix. You got decisions to make. Am I going to try to make the Olympic team, or am I going to go to my respective World Juniors, whatever it is, championships?
America's not sending a World Junior team this year,
which probably makes sense why some of these guys are focusing on the Olympics.
Yeah, and that makes their decision that much easier because they don't have a junior team to try out for. But that's another story for another day.
Yeah, so that's a lot of momentum for him coming in, man. A couple more others. Emmanuel Wenyoni, who was at the Kipsang meet, 1:43.57. Marco Arap also ran 1:43. What are we doing running 1:43 right now? Right? You know more about that than me, but man, I thought Marco ran a very competitive race. He kind of always, he kind of switches up his style a little bit.
I like it. Yeah. He can go from the front, the back, the middle.
Yeah. But one of the things that I've really seen improving in him from just watching him is sometimes when he's against someone who's right there, he gets tight and he fades. But man, he held it together. And he finished strong. This was a fast heat as well. So shout out to those two men. Armando Duplantis, I mean, you open up your season with the world record. What else can you really say about that? I mean, I don't really know what else to say. Like, I think pole vault is also one of those things that I'm still trying to understand. It's so weird to me, but the greatness, man, dominance is what comes to mind. This man right now, but there's a lot of pressure that comes with that too. You know, he did this in April. He got to do it again and more in August.
I wonder how many times he's broken his own pole vault record. He just keeps breaking it.
Yeah.
But 6:24, 6 meters 24 this time around. I mean, it's early, but he has to feel good about that.
Oh, absolutely. He's I'm sure he's over the moon, but in a calm demeanor. Seems like a calm guy. I never met him, but he seems pretty calm to me. Two more that stuck out to me, going back to Kipsang as well too, is Bayapo and Dory. Man, I saw the race. That man's last 100 meters was exceptional. 44:10, world lead in the 400 right now. I hope he can stay healthy. He's been battling a little bit of injury at the wrong time last year that kind of didn't work in his favor, but that's a great time. I also want to give a shout out to some throws. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Michaelis Alenka. He broke, I want to say, the discus record, 38-year-old record. I think it was something like 74.30 something. Previous record was 74.06. My goodness, man. And they were talking a little bit about it at the Diamond League meet, at Mount Sac. And they were saying, man, the place where he broke the record was if you can catch it the right way, because the wind is there and the track is built in such a way where if you can catch the wind, man, and you're feeling good, everything lines up, you can break the world record. And that's what we saw. So shout out to Mr. Alekna, man. That's a beautiful thing. Now, the last thing for me, again, man, I could think about 16 more things. Was Rai Benjamin at Mount Sac. We've said it before. It's not. Yeah, he ran 44:44. The time is amazing. It's fast. It's really, really nice opener. But it's how he looked. That's a smooth runner, man. That's a smooth operator, like Michael Jackson used to. Was it Michael Jackson?
Smooth operator. Oh, my dad's gonna kill me.
Smooth operator. That's terrible. We should know this. It'll come to us.
Someone tell us
in the comment section. Smooth operator. Yeah. So, but that man's smooth, and how effortless that he looked the last 100 meters, just the whole race.
Yeah.
You said something. You said, "Man, this guy's a pretty runner."
It looked easy. My gosh, that was pretty. I could see it in my head. Shout out to RYR, man.
And
that's not even his event. He's a 400-meter hurdler.
But can we really say that when he ran 44? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But
that's why he's on USA's 4x4.
That's why. So, and again, 44, man, season opener. You know what he's going to do this year. You know how he's feeling. You know what he's chasing, and what he's trying to do, man. And if you can stay calm and collected like this, you can never say it's guaranteed in track and field. You got to show up on the night and in the 4 hurdles to be the champ, man. That man, Karsten Warholm, that's a bad man right there, man.
That's a smooth operator and a bad Bama Jamma.
I did not tell her to say that. I did not tell her to say that.
We got both of them. I mean, that's going to be a race to watch,
but,
man.
I like the fact that we are here because there are some meets where you just kind of say, like, outdoor is finally here.
Ah, yes.
And I feel like this was one of those weeks. We also got to give a shout out to the young lady from Australia who upset the whole field over there in the Diamond League in China. I can't remember her name, Tori something. She came from the outside and beat a spectacular field in Sha'Carri Richardson, Tonisha Terry, Kambunja. Like, she beat a great field from the outside lane. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So incredible weekend of track and field, man. There was so much more. And I'm looking forward to what we are going to see in the coming weeks. What we missed, you let us know what we missed in the comments section below. Let us know what you enjoyed seeing, some of the matchups you're looking forward to. Let us know in the comment section below. We said a lot, but we always got to go to our performer of the week. Who was that for you?
Mine has to go to the London Marathon winner, Jep Cheer. She's the fastest ever. So how do I not give her flowers and show her respect? Like I said, 2 hours, 16 minutes and some seconds. And my mind is just blown, and I'll never try it, but I am inspired. I am inspired. So shout out to her. She is my performer of the week.
My performer of the week, man, it's got to go to Audrey LeDuc. I mean, 1096.
You're being a little biased.
I am, but like, that's a 30-year plus record. And they say records are meant to be broken, but I don't think people really understand. That doesn't happen every race. It doesn't happen every decade. It takes a little bit. And for her to come into that race and hug the hips, the shoulders, the body of Aaliyah Hobbs and say, yo, you're not going to just escape like this from me and me not get something from it. It's remarkable, man. And so I hope that she gets whatever comes with breaking this record. I don't know if she has some type of shoe deal. I don't know what her finances are looking like, but man, one of the best things in life, man, is we always want to feel appreciated. Mm-hmm. We're not asking for a whole lot, but a simple, man, like, thank you. Like, I see what you're doing. Let me bless you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Especially in sports. So shout out to her. She broke a record that I don't know if she even thought about that she was going to break that. Mm-hmm. But sometimes when you're feeling good, the track is good, the wind is good, and the competition is good, man, you just never know what could happen. And Miss Audrey LeDuc, you are that person right now. So enjoy it. But man, got to make sure you do that again at the right time. It's great when you can do it, but man, she's coming in with a lot of confidence and momentum. So that's our performer of the week. Let us know your performer of the week. Before we even close out the show, we like to talk about, some serious things, the Run Your Race topic this week. And this wasn't a thought that came to mind because of when I was doing boxing commentary. And I'm like, yo, these are all these different things. Opinions can make a big deal. And it can be tough to navigate through it. So it made me ask us the question, like, how do you handle criticism? How did you handle criticism?
I think everybody's always going to have something to say, especially in this age of social media. It's so easy to just share your opinion, and everyone is entitled to their own opinion. I think as an athlete, you have to be able to just really shrug it off and try not to let it get to you mentally. It's much easier said than done. But when it comes to criticism, the people in your circle who want the best for you, when they give you constructive criticism, you listen, you talk it through with them, and you apply the necessary adjustments and changes, because you know that those people, they're only telling you this because they want you to be better in whatever way it is, if it's in life, in sport. So when strangers have something to say, that's a little bit different. I mean, like I said, everyone is entitled to their own opinion, their own criticism, but it's up to you whether you're going to take that and use it. You really, it's your decision. And like I said, it's really easier said than done, because everybody always has something to say. Everybody thinks that they know how to make you faster, what you need to do to get faster. And it can become a lot. And so you just kind of have to let it, almost ignore it, in my opinion. What about you?
Yeah, I think there's a difference between criticism and constructive criticism. Criticism would go something like this: oh, Chanelle, you didn't run well because you're slow. Constructive criticism is saying, man, Chanelle, like, maybe if you would have done this, maybe your race would have been better, but I really liked what you did here. Right? Criticism just comes with nothing but disrespect. It can feel like hate a little bit, but constructive criticism is always coming from a place of, how can I help this person to get better? How can I be better? And even with that, who is talking matters as well too. Constructive criticism is coming from a place of love. Criticism is no real love in it. It's just an opinion. And so I've always tried to navigate that accordingly, not just in sports, but also in life, because not everybody wants you to do great. A lot of people will just want to jump on the bandwagon because you're not doing well and just kick you when you're down and say, oh man, they would be doing so much better if this and that. But everybody has a different piece of the puzzle that they're trying to figure out. And so you just got to know who is saying the criticism, not necessarily why they're saying it. You might know why, but what is their credentials to saying that? And why are they saying that to me? And does this person's opinion really matter to me? It'd be different if you're giving me constructive criticism from someone that I don't even know, because you don't know the full story.
Right. You don't know the full story.
And so I always say, man, if you want my advice, whenever I teach mentorship, I always say, if you want my advice, ask me, because I'm just not going to say it. So if you want to know, you just ask. But if you don't ask, I'm going to keep quiet, because it can be a very sensitive thing, man. Nobody wants to feel disrespected. Nobody wants to feel like they're not working hard. And usually 9 times out of 10, the athlete who didn't perform well,
they know they didn't perform
Trust me. You think they want to come out and run slow? I've never wanted to run slow. But you just have to know where it's coming from and who it's coming from and how much of their words do you value. You said something that I want to close out with. You said everyone's going to have something to say. It always reminds me of when I went to go speak one time, and I said, you could tell someone could say, oh, Akeem, you know how to fix world hunger, right? And I could say, absolutely, this is how I would do it, and I fix world hunger. And somebody would come out and say, yeah, but why'd you do it this way? I just fixed world hunger. Why does it matter how I did it? So point of that is, someone's always going to have something to say, whether you do great or you don't. you just have to navigate. Is it something that you're going to hold on to and help you to be better? Or is it something that's going to try to tear you down? Whatever's trying to hold you down, man, let that go. We don't have time for baggage. So when you think of constructive criticism or criticism in general, man, what comes to mind? Is it easy for you? Is it hard for you? Let us know in the comment section below. This was a lot of things that we touched on, a lot of meats, and we're just getting started with the meats because season really hasn't fully started yet.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting.
Thank you all for taking the time to tune in to this week's episode of the Run Your Race show. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. And of course, we will see you next time.